Tyler, it's come to my understanding that you've recently become quite worthless. Why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, I don't want to go too in depth.
Well, you should, though.
We have some time constraints here. But I'm going to say that it is an interesting story that
Welcome to the Goomba Stomp Podcast. How are you guys doing today? I'm joined by Swanson, Tyler Tews, and I'm Stephan.
How you doing today?
Awkward silence on our part. Wow, we're stage fright. We're a little scared.
I thought you were supposed to ask us how we were doing, Stephan.
I already asked you. I already asked you.
When?
I don't know. Maybe I asked the audience. Who knows? No one knows any of these things.
You kind of asked us, and they kind of went off your own thing, so I don't know where we're at now. So.
Yeah, well, basically, this is our first time doing the podcast, so bear with us. We're going to try and talk about some games. It's just going to basically be a chill conversation each time. We won't get too much into news or anything like that. It's just basically us talking, and you're going to get a listen. So if you're into that sort of thing, stay tuned. If you're not, give us one shot, and if you don't like it, then don't listen to us anymore. So let's just get right into this. We're going to talk about some upcoming games. Just kind of cover the games coming up this year, and also the Wii U, since that's coming up here as well. Let's start off with Worms.
Which one?
The new Worms that's coming out.
I do not have
golf. I played the golf one.
You played the golf? I have not played that one.
It's pretty good.
There's a golf one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's actually pretty fun. It's I think it's just called
How does a worm golf? That's what I want to know.
How does a worm hold a grenade?
You don't. You just shoot the ball.
No,
golf.
I'm just saying you can't just question.
Oh,
Worms
you're talking about
golfing.
in general.
Yeah, like you can't question the series, just the golf part, without questioning the whole series.
I'm sorry, but the series just does not make sense to me. It's not realistic enough.
They got arms.
You remind me of a lot of people online that are like, oh, this does not make sense. You know what?
Yeah,
Video games are supposed to be fun.
Kind of what I was getting at.
No, I know. You're just mocking them.
They got arms though. The worms have arms in the games, so they can hold a gun or a grenade.
The new Worms, actually, though, it's gonna kind of do some new things. Finally, they kind of just make the same game each time, just add a couple things, or they don't even really update the graphics that much each time. Whereas this
like
one,
Mario.
This one's actually going to add 4 classes now. There's gonna be worm classes.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
there's gonna be one's the scientist, and he can heal the whole team after each round. So that's kind of neat. They have a scout who can run really fast and jump really far, but he's weaker, and he can be hit a lot farther. So if you baseball bat him, he's gonna be flying way out there. And then they have a big, like, freaking fat worm.
Okay, so it's Team Fortress 2 with worms.
Not necessarily.
So tell me about perks and kill streaks. When do you call on the helicopter?
Okay, dicks. Just completely ruined everything I had going here. Do you want to know the last class, huh?
Yeah, let's go. Let's hear it. It's probably,
Well, there was a fat worm.
probably like okay, hold on. It's probably either gonna be a spy or a sniper.
That would actually be pretty sweet, though, when you think about it.
What is it?
It's a fat worm. I've said that for the 3rd time now.
Well, you said there was 4 classes.
No, I know. Hold on. There's a fat worm, and he can't move very fast. So
Yeah, so he's heavy.
yeah, he's heavy.
The other
You
one was
can't hit him.
Obese.
Damn
And
it.
the other one was Scout. So go on. What's the 4th one?
Really? You want to know?
Yeah,
It's Pyro.
Okay, you're kidding me.
No, I'm just kidding. They have just the normal worm, the scout, the scientist, and
The fat worm.
fat worm,
So
I believe.
Normal one's just a jack of all trades kind of.
Yeah, he's just your typical classic worm. No special abilities, normal health, normal movement, etc. Another big part of this is it's now in 3D but in 2D. So they're not doing the whole where you can walk in 3 dimensions. They're making it still just on a 2D plane or 2D, side-scrolling looking
But the
thing.
character models are 3D.
But everything else is in 3D. The level looks like 3-dimensional and whatnot. It's just the graphics are a ton better. They did a graphics overhaul, so it looks so much smoother and nicer. No more just little like sprites, basically, if you want to call them that. It looks really interesting. Now, a lot of the stuff on the map, if you noticed before, a lot of the objects on the map were whistly. A lot of the objects on the map were like this. They were like a car, but it would be just barely bigger than the worm, and it would be part of the map. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you could just burrow down through the car, like it was just part of the normal layout. Where now the objects are actual physical objects, and they're scale of what a worm would be. Well, pretty much. Like you'll have like a lighter, and now you can shoot that lighter and it'll blow up. You don't just like burrow through it. It's not a part of the land. It's an actual physical object. So that's kind of neat. And probably the last biggest upgrade or inclusion is now water is weaponized. Now you can throw water balloons. Like it's like basically a water grenade, but it's just a water balloon. You throw that, and then the water, it has water physics, so it'll it'll go down into holes and crevices until it can't go any further. And giggity. And there's also drains to drain out water, and water strikes and water guns. So it looks really good. I definitely recommend. Any Worms fans probably already know about it. If not, then check it out. If you were bored with it, you'll definitely like this.
Was it coming for consoles?
Yeah, it's Xbox Live Arcade and PSN.
Oh, so it's not even going to be a PC.
And computer. No, it's computer.
Oh, it's okay.
So yeah, it's all 3 of the main ones basically. So definitely check it out. It's probably only going to be $15, I'm sure. They're usually pretty cheap games. So I'm looking forward to that personally. It comes out in October sometime. I don't think they had an official release date. Mid-October, I believe. Next up, we got Black Ops 2.
Yay.
Does anybody know anything about this game?
No.
I know it's based in the future. I don't know. I think it's one of those things that need to make or break this game. Like I was watching a couple of videos on it, and it looks interesting, but at the same time, I just don't know if it's going to appeal to me or not. I am excited for zombies though. So bringing zombies back.
Yes.
Back in black.
Zombies, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I didn't play it as much as I would have liked, but I know people really get into that. And that was like one of the most favorited features from World at War. Probably the only good thing about that game, is a lot of people would think. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I definitely really enjoy that mode. It's definitely unique from any other zombie experience you'd get. And I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Black Ops 2.
The other thing I think I heard about it is like, well, you remember how they had the dive?
Yeah.
Well, now they have where you help your partner, like you boost your partner up on your hand so they can climb.
Oh, that's pretty neat. It's kind of like Splinter Cell.
Yeah,
like
so you'd be able to help your partner climb up walls and stuff.
Nice.
So that'll be a pretty interesting feature, I think.
50 Cent? Really? You're going to mention 50 Cent?
Had that in 50 Cent. What was the most recent one that came out? Like
I don't know. I didn't even know.
The one that took place in Iraq.
I only remember the first one, and I didn't play it. I just heard the name was Blood on the Sand, I believe.
Yeah, they have that feature in 50 Cent.
All right. Well, if anybody was wondering, that a little trivia fact, you now know. So yeah, I don't really know a whole bunch about the game, but I really enjoyed Black Ops 1 more than I enjoyed Modern Warfare 3. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. I think the whole diving feature is really nice to have. So after getting that and then not having it in Modern Warfare 3 for some reason, I know it's made by 2 different studios, but I don't see why you wouldn't include that.
It really is interesting to kind of like see, because a lot of people say it's the same game, and it is, but it is interesting to see because if you go between the 2 companies, there are a lot of differences. Like as opposed to your kill streaks, how you attain those, how you unlock those, your icon customization is different with the companies. So in a sense, there are a lot of differences within the game. However, I just wish they kind of wouldn't go every year, because that's kind of ridiculous, releasing the game every year.
Yeah, and Modern Warfare 3, I kind of regret getting. I should have just rented it because I beat the campaign on Veteran. that was a lot of fun. It's kind of a tradition with the Modern Warfare games.
Great campaigns. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah, they have awesome campaigns, but I only played like 2 multiplayer matches with you, I believe, on Modern Warfare 3, and I don't know, I couldn't get into it. I think the big thing was a lot of games were coming out week after week after week because it is.
That was a huge gaming week. We had Gears of War 3 about the same time.
Skyrim, I think, was the big. Saints Row 3.
Dead Island.
That was like a couple months earlier, but there were October and November and like half of September, just crazy amount of games coming out. I'm sure every gamer knows.
Those are the months that my wallet hates the most.
Yeah, I drop at least 300 to 400 almost on. At least almost. I just contradicted myself. But yeah, I drop a lot of money on games for those months, but surprisingly not a whole lot of games come out for the rest of the year, so it's really weird. They've been kind of transitioning to bringing it into spring.
Well, it's the holidays. Nice. That's the biggest reason.
Yeah.
It's because you got Christmas coming up, and they want the games released before then.
Yeah.
I would think like almost I'm surprised they don't release them. Well, I guess the thing about October is just before, you got Black Friday, so November, October.
They know what they're doing, but
it's all about making money, but when they release them.
I remember as a kid always hoping they would come out in the summer, but they never did.
That's
like
the best
games never come out in the summer.
No, it's always.
But you always wanted them to, so you could just play them nonstop instead of having school to deal with. But it wasn't like that, unfortunately, and they're still not like that. Like you said, they're transitioning. Some companies put theirs out in the spring, which I think is smart. Less competition means your game's going to get played more. I think Battlefield and stuff do that sometimes. Splinter Cell did that last time. A few other games have done it, but yeah, it's Mortal Kombat did it, but it's just a shame because there's like 5 games that come out within a month, or just all in a month, and I don't get to play a lot of them because a lot of games just get kind of passed over. Like I haven't gone back to play Dead Island. I stopped playing Gears soon after it came out because of it. There's just so much. Arkham City was another one last year that took out a lot of time. Man, just
a lot of great games though last year. I mean. But yeah, like you said, like it's so many great games, but it's just like you never go back to playing them because it's just too damn many of them.
Yeah, and it's definitely, like I said, it hurts developers more than helps them. I understand the holiday release, but you should also want your game to keep getting supported and played. So I definitely think that hurts each other, and especially if you're a smaller game developer or you're just not one of the more popular games and you're released around there, good luck, because with games like Call of Duty or Halo and the juggernauts like that, there's no way people are gonna contend with that.
It's just like they're releasing a new title every year. I think that in the long run hurts them more than it helps them, because they're making the money now, but I feel like the sooner you release more games, the less willing people are to buy them, because then they just get like bombarded with it. Like you hear a lot of times with Call of Duty, like people are just so sick of it.
Well, it comes down to something you expect instead of like something you want. Like you just expect Call of Duty to come out every year.
Yeah, you got to build up a want for like a demand for the game. If you just pump them out every year, people are going to start picking and choosing which ones they get, and they get burned out a lot faster.
And then you're going to start getting people like, oh, you know what, I'll just wait till the next one comes out next year. I'll wait a year. Or like your sales are going to start dropping, I guarantee it.
Yeah, and Halo did that for a few years between Halo 3, then you had ODST the next year, I believe, then Reach, and then now it's been at least a couple of years since Halo Wars was in there too.
Well, I mean,
so yeah, just kind of
look at the differential between Halo 2 and Halo 3. There was a huge gap in between.
Yeah,
those.
I believe
Halo 3 and Reach, and it's just like
between Halo 2 and 3. I think Halo 2 came out in 2004, and then Halo 3 was 2007. So yeah, you had a nice 3-year gap, which is nice. That's what you should have, in Halo 1 between Halo 2 as well. And that's what games used to do, but I think it's becoming more... I think it's more EA than anything. I mean, think of it. They own both Assassin's Creed and all the...
And I'll tell you what, for a company that has some of the shittiest servers I've ever seen,
yeah,
you think they'd be able to do something better about that?
Yeah, like Madden's notorious for coming out every year, and yeah, the servers are horrible. Skate, Battlefield, just a couple of games that I personally play, and they're awful.
It was just like Assassin's Creed. That was a fun gameplay, but it's just it took you 5 hours to find people to play against. You remember that? The multiplayer and Assassin's Creed stuff in?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, but yeah, it took forever to get in a game.
Like I'd turn the game on, get into a lobby, and I'd go make like a baked potato or something, and come back and probably still be waiting.
I go make a baked potato.
You ever baked a potato? It takes forever.
Yeah, but who makes a baked potato on it?
Alright, I got time. Let's see, all the things I can do. Like a bake, how many potatoes?
Look, it's an analogy. Let's not overanalyze it now.
But that's what we do.
You do.
Actually, no, that's not what we do.
That's not what we do at all.
We just discuss.
Wouldn't that be
Next
kind of
up-
like analyzing, though?
Kind of, in a way, but not really. Next up, we got Borderlands. Borderlands 2 coming out. You're going to have to kind of direct this one, Tyler, because
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never played the
Never
games, but I
played
understand
Borderlands.
them.
Yeah, I know what they're about,
First
but
off,
I haven't seen
I don't know
anything
what
on
the
them.
hell is your guys' problem, because you should really play that. I've been trying to get you to play it for a while now, Stephan.
I
but
said
you
I will
keep
play the
being
second one.
gay.
I don't have a console,
No.
so...
Okay, well, so there's a few features of the second one that they're changing from the first one because they found it kind of broken. Was that at some point you could get a level 40 gun. And
Spoilers! Wow. Okay, I guess I don't even need
No.
to. I just bought it and it was going to be a surprise, and now we don't even need to play it again.
You know,
Wow.
you get a level 40 gun right at the beginning of the game.
Awesome,
Wow.
No,
thanks.
not the beginning.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
saying
You spoiled it all for
you didn't
everyone.
buy the game. Do you even have the game?
No,
That's
I
what I
lied.
thought. So now you're a liar.
It's like Fallout 2 all
Congratulations.
over again when someone told me to get the power armor in the first 5 minutes. So
Anyways.
Okay.
But like I was saying, the guns are going to be see, now you have to be lost track. Alright, see. What I was saying is, you can find a gun for like halfway through the game, and you just use that gun because you wouldn't be able to find anything better. They fixed that with this one, so like as you level up,
Things keep getting better.
yeah. So like it doesn't just get stale after a while. The guns, it just seems like there's more quantity of them. They changed the styles more because the biggest thing with the first one was a lot of the guns look the same. They just kind of changed colors of them, slight changes here and there. I think there's going to be a bigger differential between guns in this one.
Yeah.
It's not just the levels.
Yeah, I
of
know that
guns.
was one of their things that they would boast about the first one is that there's a million guns combinations. I mean, like more guns than
the
any other.
combinations were great, but it's just like sometimes you want styles too. It's like you want to find a gun that looks sweet too, and that was something that kind of lacked in. Was there was no. It's like, okay, this one's red,
Yeah.
and that one's blue.
Yeah, that's a problem with a lot of games that say, "Oh, we're boasting because we have so many different combinations." I mean, when it boils down to it, after you've played the game for a while, and that initial like fun factor or the newness factor, you start to notice just how little combinations there really are. One game, and I know if Matt's listening to this, one game that boasted about having tons of different combinations, and I'm sure he's already guessed it. It's freaking Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2
Oh,
boasted
God.
about having their fusion moves, and that was supposed to be the big thing. Like everyone's specials could have different combinations, but they all did like the same things. You combine Iron Man and the Hulk or whatever, and it would be very similar to Iron Man and the Thing, and etc. Like the similar characters all had the same kind of combinations. So really, there's only like maybe 8 combinations. It was really, really disappointing.
Yeah, that was just a disappointing game. Like I don't know, I thought it was not. I really enjoyed Marvel's Capcom 2 more than that. So.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at some of the pictures here on the web, the interweb,
Yep.
and there's a huge differential between all these guns, and they look sweet. Like they're really cool looking guns. So I'm really excited. And I'm sure these aren't even all that are available in this game. So that's gonna be pretty sweet to see what they do with the guns. The gameplay is awesome. Just the post-apocalyptic. I know it's a different planet, and this planet is basically like a post-apocalyptic junkyard. Is all I can think of it.
Yeah.
As, and it's just a sweet gameplay. It's got, I don't know, there's not really much of a story to it, I guess, but no, it's just fun to play. It's one of those games that's funner to play co-op with another person than it is by single player. Personally.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
But yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I definitely am looking forward to it. I just don't know anything about it, like the new game. I mean, I know about Borderlands and what it's all about. I just don't know.
Basically,
anything.
all they did is they took a great game, figured out what was wrong with it, and made it. And just fixed those little small things. That's the biggest thing too. It's like sometimes just fixing the smaller things that bug people.
Yeah.
Is really all you need to tweak. You don't need to completely, like a lot of people you see nowadays, like with Halo Reach, they completely changed a lot of the gameplay with that when they added the jetpack and armor lock and stuff like that, and we've had arguments about that, and
Yeah.
it's just like people kind of look too far into it. And, why fix something that's people have obviously enjoyed for so long, You just tweak a few things here and there, and you're bound to have a great game for future endeavors. So.
Well, we'll get into that when we talk about Halo later, actually, because I have a conversation piece to talk about that and kind of pick your brain about it. But all right, let's move on to Resident Evil. Resident Evil 6 comes out later this year. Actually, only I think 28 days away or something. It's pretty close.
Gay.
Why?
I've never played any of the Resident Evil, so I don't even know. I don't even have an opinion.
Resident Evil 5 was decent. I thought 4
Who
was
are you? No, hold on. Let's not just gloss over this. Who are you, sir?
I've never played any of the Resident
Okay.
Evils. I don't
No,
like
that's
scary
fine.
games.
But why are you saying he's gay? Why is it gotta be gay, huh?
It's gay.
Okay.
Why, 'cause
I
you
guess that
haven't
makes
played
sense.
it?
You make a good point there, but I haven't done a whole lot of research on this game either. I haven't even played the demo, and I know there is one on the marketplace, or at least they're releasing a new one. They had one before as well. I did like 5. I know that's kind of controversial, but a lot of people didn't like that because it wasn't really zombies. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Not
how
that it's
Resident
really a
Evil 4
spoiler.
was, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Resident Evil 4 was supposed to be
It was
great.
like parasites or whatever.
Yeah, and I think these are all great games, but I don't know. I still enjoyed 5, I guess. I'm not a huge into Resident Evil though, so I'm not really that guy that knows everything about it and expects the highest quality from it. I'm just more entertained by it and have fun with it, so I don't really get disappointed with it, I guess.
I thought personally, I enjoyed 4 more than I enjoyed 5. Don't really know why, but I don't know. I guess the gameplay.
Yeah,
It had more of an eerie feel to it because you're in that just like creepy ass town.
yeah. Resident Evil 5 wasn't that scary. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Not nearly as scary as the earlier ones. Like the one I played on GameCube. What was it?
Oh, I
Zero.
remember that one. Yeah. That was,
Code Zero or something like that.
Code Veronica.
Code Veronica. That one, yeah, that was pretty creepy. But then again, I played that by myself, whereas Resident Evil 5, I played with somebody online. So yeah, it's not as scary when you have somebody there.
I
and
remember
whatnot.
watching you play that game, you selfish bastard. I'd be like, could I play when you die?
No,
No.
and it still doesn't change. You
No.
can't play it. I have it right up there,
No.
and you're not gonna be able to play it. So don't do it.
I don't want to play it.
Okay, then let's. Well, if we don't have a whole lot, we don't know much about the upcoming game. I'm kind of it's games like that where I'm not like huge fan of, but I still enjoy playing them that I don't really cover very much, and I kind of like to just be surprised with what I get. So definitely looking forward to it though. I know it's co-op still, so I'm wanting to play that, and I'll probably enjoy it. But we'll let you know more about thoughts and impressions and feelings of it once it comes out.
Did you say oppressions?
Impressions, but
Okay.
if I didn't say impressions, then you get the gist.
The gist.
Jest, whatever. All right, let's go on to Paper Mario. So Tyler Swanson, this is all you, man.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Paper Mario series. I love all the Mario RPGs. I mean, Super Mario RPG was probably one of my favorite games when I was growing up.
That was an awesome game, and I really enjoyed the first Paper Mario. Never played any of the other ones. Well, actually, I played the one on GameCube. I own it, but
yeah, Paper Mario
I
Thousand
only
Year Door
played a
is
little bit.
I'd say probably my third favorite game of all time.
I still need to play through it. I played through like the first maybe mission or whatever, the first little part of it.
It's fantastic. I always loved all the RPG spin-offs too. I mean, Mario and Luigi were really good. All the spin-offs of that too. The Bowser's Inside Story was really fun. And Paper Mario for the 3DS is supposed to be the newest upcoming one, but they're taking a spin in a direction that no one wants to see.
I hate when a game does that.
You know how much you love card-based combat? And how much you absolutely loathe it and wish it never existed?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing that in, but don't worry, it's not card-based, it's sticker-based. So all your attacks are going to be on stickers that you put onto yourself before battle, so you have all your attacks.
That sound... Yeah, I don't... Why?
I don't know.
Why would they change it? I really enjoyed the combat in old classic, RPGs like that.
From what I've heard, they're supposed to keep, the timed hits and everything that they've always had, where, pressing the button at the right time to do more damage or block attacks.
Yeah.
But it's just their new take on the moves. I mean, they've been doing it slowly over time. I mean, the second Mario and Luigi RPG, they changed like the special attacks to items you use, which I didn't really care for either. And they just kind of slowly make it. They try and just like do something different to like keep it fresh, I guess. But which is kind of weird for Nintendo, considering they just love to rehash everything.
Yeah.
No.
I love Nintendo, but it's true.
Yeah, kudos for them for trying something new, but hopefully it's not what I'm expecting it to be, which is completely awful. because I really love the Paper Mario series.
It's like I said, I only played the first one and part of the GameCube one. I haven't gotten into the Wii one or into the DS ones or anything like that. Frankly, I didn't even know the Mario and Luigi series was part of that series. I guess I didn't follow it very much.
It's not really part of it. I mean, it's just an RPG with Mario, basically.
Yeah, I never really had a DS other than for like Pokemon, so I never really played anything else other than those. But I definitely got to look into that stuff because I had a ton of fun with the first Paper Mario. That it sticks in my mind to this day. I was eating hot, spicy Cheez-Its as I was playing through this because it tastes so good. But
that's about when they first came out, isn't it? The
I don't
Tabasco
know,
ones.
but they were delicious, and I don't know. That's not relevant to the story. It's just what I ate while I was playing it. It was really good. But I remember the mission where you had to make the cake, like bake the cake perfectly for the guy to please, like, you know, he had to be happy with it, and it had to be perfect. Like, I don't remember if you had to cook it perfectly or put the right ingredients. I don't remember. But I remember it took me like an hour to get past that because he was such a picky bastard. Like, and he's fat too. Like, you can't imagine he's that picky about what he eats. Like, if everything has to be perfection that he puts in his mouth, giggity, then I highly doubt he would be that big. But that is just my opinion.
Yeah, maybe he eats like really delicious, fat-inducing food all the time.
I also remember they had a lot of fun characters, and that was really cool. I like how they had the bombs and the bombettes and all that kind of cool stuff. That was like my favorite part about that. Though one disappointment is in the first Paper Mario, I don't think you could get Yoshi on your team, could you?
No, you
there
could
was
in the
no
second
Yoshi.
One, but you got a baby Yoshi in the second one. But he was actually probably one of the best characters, I think. Other than the old salty Bomb Captain, who was my favorite to use. So
yeah, I really need to play the GameCube one because you keep talking about it. It makes me really like wanting to play it. I just gotta find the time to dedicate to it. Yeah, finding the time, but find the like motivation to go through it. I guess because that's gonna take a lot of time.
It was nice because the original characters they introduced weren't oppressive in any way.
Yeah,
they didn't feel like they detracted from anything.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was my one disappointment. You go to like a Yoshi Island, I remember, and yet you can't. You couldn't get a Yoshi on your team, and Yoshi's my favorite character. Obviously, that's why it's disappointing. So it was unfortunate that you couldn't do it, but that's cool that you can get in the second one. Even more reason for me to play that.
You can even pick the color too, depending on how you manipulate it.
Oh, why don't you just spoil the whole surprise? Right?
Like you can get a black Yoshi, you can get a white Yoshi, green Yoshi, whatever.
All right, well, this is Goomba Stomp spoiler cast. No, I'm just kidding. These are old games. Who cares? One thing that really stood out that was weird about the first one, isn't that where it's revealed where like Peach like slept with Bowser or something?
No, that didn't happen at all.
That was in there. I swear.
No, it was
you
not.
Read her diary.
No,
I'm pretty sure, but. Maybe, but I'm pretty sure.
Probably wouldn't put in their game, honestly.
No, because wasn't Baby Bowser revealed to be Peach's son?
No, Bowser told him that he was her son.
Well, then I guess I'm gullible because this is what I remembered to be true. Because wasn't that Super Mario Sunshine?
Yeah, I mean, when did you play Super Mario Sunshine when you were like 10 or 12?
Whenever it came out,
in like 2003 or so.
Well, you were one stupid 10-year-old.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Team building, yay! Friends.
I hate you.
All right, SimCity. What do you got?
Another big disappointment of the year, actually, I'd say. I love the SimCity games. I used to love SimCity 3000. I used to play it all the time on my old PC. Because I didn't have internet back then, so I just only played on the SimCity. And it's shaping up to be probably one of the biggest disappointments in recent history.
Why?
They're changing the familiar formula of SimCity where you just, build a city by yourself and,
So they're trying something new. So the very thing that you criticize Nintendo for rehashing, now you're... No. Explain yourself.
No. This is a very bad thing new. They're switching it over to a Facebook-style interaction. You can't You cannot play offline at all, period.
No.
You cannot play offline. All your cities are shared within your community of friends. And they influence each other, and you get a...
I mean, that sounds cool, but the whole concept behind it sucks.
It's never executed properly is the problem. I mean, it would be kind of cool to have, build a city, and then have your friend build a city right next to you, and you, trade resources.
Yeah.
But so far from what I've seen, it's really simplified. They've, stripped a lot of the... I mean, SimCity 4 was already pretty simplified, unless you mod the hell out of it, which makes it run really, really slow. and from SimCity 3000, of course. And this is looking to be an even dumber down version of SimCity 4, with online only and Facebook social networking.
Jeez. Why? I don't even understand why a game like that would need to do that. I don't know.
I guess they're trying to switch over from, the typical autismal person who just spends like 8 hours a day just meticulously building the city to make it something more casual that more people can enjoy, I guess.
Alright. Yeah, I haven't played SimCity in forever. Like, it's been at least 8 or 9 years since I touched a SimCity game or Roller Coaster Tycoon or any of those types of games, or the old classic Warcrafts, man.
Yeah, I hadn't even played a sim game like before SimCity. Like, I played Sims. That was about it.
Yeah, I played The Sims as well. I played Sim Ant. Did either of you play Sim Ant?
That
was a fun game. That freaking spider scares the crap out of me. That thing will get you.
I played Habbo Hotel.
Habbo.
I remember CokeMusic.com was basically Habbo
Stephan
Hotel.
learned his first lesson on females in that game.
Yeah,
so.
I got screwed over. I decided to move in with her on Habbo Hotel. I was like 13 years old, and I moved in with her little like hotel room or whatever it is. Like, I don't even remember what the heck it is, and I put like my 3 items in there. I put my duck, my rubber ducky, some table and some cabinet. And she gave me privileges to control everything as well. All of a sudden, she took them away, and then I'm out a duck, a cabinet, and a table. First life lesson, people. They get you, even on Habbo Hotel. No, you're not safe. Not even in video games. All right, well, let's move on to Pokemon. You told me you played Pokemon Black and White 2, which isn't out yet.
Yeah.
So no spoilers, but kind of tell everyone about that game.
Well, I mean, obviously I play the Japanese version because it's not out yet.
Yes.
It's kind of the same thing as Black and White. It's the same area, at least.
Surprise, surprise.
Well, I think they said it's like 5 or 6 years in the future.
Yeah.
A lot of the old characters from the original ones, like the male rival's now a gym leader, and the female rival's now the professor that gives you your Pokemon and whatever.
I never made it past. Or I did. I got the first badge and like till the next town in Whites or Black, whichever.
Really, you didn't play that much?
Or White, I think is when I got.
I
only played past the first gym.
Yeah,
I got kind of burned out. Well, I played through Soul Silver not too long before, probably a few months before, and I played the crap out of Soul Silver, like logged 60 to 70 hours in that.
I played the crap out of I got White. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I've got White. I've beaten it once, and I'm doing a Nuzlocke run on it right now.
My little brother, though, found my game.
Yeah.
And he freaking stole my Pokemon.
What a bitch.
Yeah, I was like...
Stealing Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, like
I've never had that happen to me.
Yeah.
Certain grass type.
When I was at work, he'd go in my room, get my Game Boy,
I'm sore
and
about it, you could say.
say.
No, I get what you're...
Bulbasaur, or Venusaur.
Yeah,
right?
nice job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked Pokemon Black and White. A lot of people didn't like it because it only had the new Pokemon, which they thought was kind of retarded. But I really liked it because it was like a whole new experience. Like, you were playing Red and Blue for the first time, like encountering all these strange creatures that you've never seen before, and trying to figure out their types, and like trying to figure out what moves they're going to use. I thought it was a lot of fun. Yeah,
I guess I'm just kind of a traditionalist and nostalgia guy where I love I still only love the first 2 generations. I never really got into any of the other ones and stopped watching the show around then. I never played Ruby or Sapphire. Or that's the one that's the last one I played. I never played Diamond or Pearl is what I meant. Yeah. Or On. And I didn't think I was ever gonna play them again. If I did, it would just be Red or Blue or Gold or Silver. Still my favorites. Silver is still the best in my opinion.
Yeah, Soul Silver was fantastic.
I did not play Soul Silver.
That is awesome. That best Pokemon game by far. Best DS game by far. I don't know. I had tons of fun with that game. Worth every penny. Just tons of fun. Definitely a nostalgia trip to be able to go play through that again.
But I mean, the main thing that a lot of people complain about with the new Pokemon as they come out is people say, "Oh, they look fucking retarded."
Yeah, they don't look very original.
But then I mean,
crazy.
How original and how awesome does fucking Magnemite look? He's a fucking ball with magnets on.
But the thing is that he was part of the original crew, whereas now it just looks like they're just making up whatever they can come up with.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean
let's,
the original
let's
What
take
about
a
Electrode?
No, but you okay?
let's take an
Hold on,
alligator.
hold
Let's
on.
take an alligator snout.
Okay, hold on.
And throw it
All
on a
of them-
duck, and then put it with a lion.
every
and
single
that's your new
Pokemon-
Pokemon. It's lion, alligator, duck.
Okay,
I don't
every
know,
single
that's about as original as the names are too.
no, every single Pokemon that has ever been created has all been drawn by Ken Sugimori. No, nothing has been.
Yeah, and he's obviously run out of ideas. That's my point.
But I'm
Is-
saying it's not like people are just throwing ideas at him. He's just like, all right, here's the.
No, I
Duck
know. I don't
demon
blame the guy
fucker.
one bit. I don't
Yeah.
blame. I don't blame the. I wouldn't be able to do it that much better either. I couldn't do it better. I couldn't come up with 500 different Pokemon and have. I'd probably crap out at about 80, and I'd be like, okay, I got nothing. Let's take this pencil. And the pencil guy, woo! You caught a pencil. Like,
Well, let's face
with
it.
legs.
Even in the first one, like how original was Electrode? He was a Pokemon.
Well, no, yeah,
guy.
that's
With
what I'm
eyes
saying.
on them.
That's what I'm saying.
No, he was inverted colors. He was,
Oh,
he was,
yeah,
he was
yeah,
white
that's
on
right.
top.
The Pokemon, yeah, obviously Pokemon aren't like these original concepts, but their names always hinted towards something, or their structure always hinted towards something. Like Magmite is obviously magnets and whatnot.
What about Pikachu? What the hell is that supposed to
Well,
mean?
it's Japanese. Well, I mean, a lot of the names say Magnemite isn't the original name in Japanese. I can't remember what
Yeah.
it is. But like they localize a lot of it, but some of it they just leave because Pikachu, I guess they thought sounded pretty cute, so they're like, whatever, just.
And it works. Girls love it.
And
But,
that's, I mean,
uh,
that's what they did with a lot. Like Giratina's the same, and like Arceus
yeah.
is the same.
So what you're
Yeah.
saying that Pikachu actually means something electric, like in Japanese?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it
it's
matters.
just
Well, Chew is. I know Chew is this. It's like the onomatopoeia for mice. It's like, because like games like Choo Choo Rocket, it's about mice. Pika, I think, is just kind of an onomatopoeia for electricity. It's sparking, kind of. So
Okay,
just like
so
sparking
electric
mouse. Yeah.
Spark Mouse, I guess.
yeah, and that makes sense. And like I said, I don't blame him for getting less. It's hard to make that much in any game, if be it a game with 50 characters or 70 characters like Mortal Kombat. Like characters got really stale after Mortal Kombat 4. Like any new characters. Like I think Quan Chi and Kenshi in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance was pretty cool.
That was
But
wild.
anything after that was pretty boring, except for maybe save one or two exceptions.
And
Like,
That's what
Every
made
single
the
Sub-Zero
that's what
clone.
made the new recent
Yeah.
one so great. So they just brought back all the old.
yeah, and that's what I'm
characters, and that
saying.
was-
Like that's what I'm all about. I'm all about the old characters that I grew up with, and that makes me sound like old and senile and just not wanting change, etc. But that's not always the case. I'm accepting of change, and I'm accepting of trying something new. And I see that being a plus to Black and White, but I guess I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. Like I said, it was mainly because I was burned out on Pokemon at that point. I want to go through it eventually when I have a time where I just need to sit in like a car forever, and then I'll definitely try it out.
So Black and White 2.
Yeah, let's talk about Black and White too.
Black and White 2 is so far the graphics are a little improved, but I mean they're still using the old DS hardware, so I mean there's only so much left to push. It's so far like all those sprites are animated, and it's a lot smoother looking than the Black and White. It kind of just felt like really pixelated. A nice addition I like. They brought back a lot of the older Pokemon, not all of them. In the beginning of the game, like you still have to to get most of them. You still have to get the national dex, whatever, go through the other areas.
Yeah.
But like, there's some areas where you can catch like certain older Pokemon in certain areas. Some of them are pretty rare. Like I spent about an hour or so farming for a Riolu because it evolves into Lucario, and
Yeah.
Lucario's awesome. And the gym leaders are all different. For the most part, I think 2 are the same. I'm only about halfway through it. It's again with Black and White, less emphasis on HMs, which is still really nice because I feel it really detracts from the game when you have to focus to have one Pokemon in your party that's just useless except to have HM moves on it. Like
Yeah, that's annoying.
Cut and Surf and
I was
Strength.
always
Yeah,
that's the one thing about Pokemon, if I could think of off the top of my head, that's really annoying, is wasting those kind of things on a Pokemon and just having to have them just to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Some of the new features are like they added it's kind of similar to the whole contest thing they had in the other games.
Yeah.
You didn't play them, but they had.
What do you mean?
Wait, did you play? You didn't play Diamond
like
Pearl.
the
Soul
cute.
Silver had the
Oh yeah,
contest,
that's right.
though.
Okay, yeah, they did have. It's kind of like that. It's like a
Like
movie.
the events
it's-
and stuff?
Yeah, it's like a movie thing this
Like
time where you have to
the-
make a performance. Like you have to use moves and.
Gotcha.
But you're actually fighting this time, and you have to make the fight look as cool as possible.
So it's like
basically.
wrestling.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
You're putting
So
on a
fake.
show,
That's
but
so
you're
fake.
fighting.
That's the new contest thing. I didn't really go too much into it because I mean my Japanese isn't great, so
Gotcha.
I mean I know I can read the moves, and I can read what they do.
Gotcha. All right, well, that actually sounds pretty interesting. I need to get through the first one first, but yeah.
It's
when is
shaping
it?
up to
Do you
be a
know
good
when it's
one.
supposed to come out in America?
I think it's actually supposed to come out, I think this year, actually. I think they're pushing the translation pretty hard.
Yeah, I know that's what the big stalling point is.
I mean, Pokemon games are written in really simple language.
Yeah.
I mean, they're games for kids. There's no way around it. It's a kid's
Yeah,
game.
it's not going to be this big elaborate language type of thing. All right, how about Assassin's Creed 3? This is another one that none of us really have done a whole lot of research on other than watching like footage of it and seeing stuff at E3 back in June or whenever.
Well, I've never played any of the Assassin's
Fuck
Creed.
the Brits. That's all I can
I
tell
played
you.
the first
Shit.
one, which is extremely tedious. Fun, but extremely tedious, so I couldn't finish the story or anything because it just felt like you kept doing the same 3 missions over and over and over, which you did. So most people say skip the first one, go to the second one, which I didn't. I played Brotherhood, though. That was
Brotherhood was a fantastic. I think.
Yeah, that one was tons of fun online. I guess I'm more into the multiplayer, but yeah, it's a great game. It's tons of fun.
I just wish they had better servers. Like, you know,
Yeah.
just, a lot of those great games are so fun to play online, but it's just not worth waiting to freaking. And then, like, half the time we couldn't even play together.
Yeah, it was. They got all sorts of messed up, but you can't fault the game, just fault
No.
the servers and crappy whatnot. But yeah, that sucks. But yeah, the third one definitely looks cool. Like I love the parkour aspect is still there. You can climb up all these trees and run up. It's really stealthy. It takes place from the footage I saw is in the snowy environment in the snowy forest, and it takes place during the Civil War time. Correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
what I've seen, especially the trees.
Revolutionary War or is it the Civil
Revolutionary,
War?
not Civil
Revolutionary War.
Okay.
What I've seen too is the trees are unscripted. Like each tree is different. Like it's not like just a scripted sequence of branches you
Yeah.
hop to. So that's kind of neat how it's
Yeah.
completely unscripted.
It feels very fluid and it just looks awesome. Like I don't know. With the yearly release of Assassin's Creed, it's kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I just think this one looks fantastic. Though I think I skipped Revelations. I think I might get this one. It looks, or at least give it a rent because it looks like tons of fun, and I hope they have a really fun multiplayer like Brotherhood had.
The ship combat looks pretty cool too, from what I've seen.
I didn't see that ship.
Yeah, they had ship. It was
Like in the future, you mean?
No. Like
battleships type stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
like they had that later on. It was actually the next conference they did because they showed
Gotcha.
it originally in I think the PlayStation conference, and then they did it later for Ubisoft's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that
They
one.
showed the ship combat in Ubisoft's.
I just remember him running around in the snowy forest, and it looked awesome. Like that, just one, I'm a sucker for snow, like maps and stuff like that in any game environments, and two, I love parkour, and three, just assassinations and that combat system and stealth
And
system.
some of the assassinations in that game is so sweet though. Like the knives that come out of your hands and you just like take down 2 guards by stabbing them in the face after jumping off a building.
Yeah,
Like that. God, dude, that's fucking awesome.
yeah, it definitely looks pretty sweet, and I got to do more research, but I definitely think I'm gonna pick that up.
I did like the attention to detail in the snow
Mhm.
too. All the footprints showed up. I mean, they even noted down to like his cape was fluid, and his cape wasn't clipping into the snow like you typically see in most games. Like his cape was actually sliding across the snow, which I thought was actually really impressive.
Yeah. It's the little things sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
just like little stuff like that really helps immerse you in the experience, and definitely just kind of, I mean, from an artistic standpoint, I know I'm an art major, and just I appreciate all the little touches like that and all the little environments. Like I'm not a graphic whore by any means. I don't care about that kind of stuff, but I appreciate when they really put a lot of detail in environments to not only is it fun to play, that's most important obviously is gameplay, but when it looks good, it just makes you want to keep playing and makes it that much more enjoyable. When you keep seeing the same environments used over and over, like a lot of games these days, and we'll get into this later with Halo, a lot of games these days just have a lot of brown, red, green, and gray. And
Lots
it's
of
just
blue.
all, yeah, it's very grungy, and it just, I like the Call of Duty look to it, or the Gears of War, and it takes away from the, like, just the color palette, and it just doesn't look nearly as enjoyable, and that's a good segue into Halo now, is that that was the maps on this Halo 4 are the first things I started kind of, I was going to ignore Halo 4 until the game came out, but it's finally won me over in a sense that I can't wait to get it. Just because I started watching a few videos, and I'm a huge Halo fan. We're all Halo fans here, but I just...
Well, I'm a Halo 2 fan.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. We've all been a fan of the series at one point, or still are, varying degrees. But I've been a fan since the first one. Still played every single game, even Halo Wars, and got their midnight. I was there at the midnight showings. I'm just a huge fanatic of it. Tons of fun, tons of LAN parties back in the day, and it really, with Reach, it just felt disappointing. And I don't know whether it was the gameplay or the maps or what. The campaign was fun, firefights fun, but the maps for multiplayer I just did not enjoy. Like, Halo 2 still has the best maps. Halo 1 had some great ones. Halo 3 had some decent ones too. And Reach is just felt so lackluster and uninspired. And I think a lot of it has to do with poor gameplay. Like, I just don't think the armor abilities worked well with the maps to make them fun. Like, it just... None of the maps are memorable to me, and 2, they all look so plain and boring, except for Reflection. That is the one that just looks stunning. Like, I think it's the indoor, obviously, up in the tower, Ivory Tower remake, and it just looks beautiful.
Reach just did not do anything original on their maps. They just took everything straight out of campaign, and it's just like... And it just seems like with all they never did that with the other games. The other games...
Yeah.
The maps were never, or rarely were they from the campaign.
No, yeah, I don't remember any environments that you'd go through on the campaign.
I played through the campaign, so why would I want to play the same damn crap over? I just beat,
Well, that, and it just doesn't... What's in campaign, and I know they didn't just make these for campaign.
Yeah.
They made them for both. What I heard in interviews is that they were making them for campaign and multiplayer, and they would just kind of, talk back and forth and communicate, but that didn't work very well. It seemed like...
No.
I didn't enjoy those parts of the maps in campaign, really. I guess, some of them were fun, but I also, in multiplayer, definitely just, like I said, if I'd want a remake from any of the past Halo games, I don't think I'd ever pick anything from Halo Reach.
No.
Spire is okay, Boneyard's
Well, that's just it. Everything in it's just okay.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're not necessarily bad. They're just
levels
boring.
Where it's like, oh god, yeah, this level's up. Reflection is pretty much the only one I can think of.
And that's from Halo 2, obviously.
And exactly. So it's just like, there's no, yeah, it's fun, play it, alright, but it's never, that level where I'm like, oh man, I love this level. I'm so glad you played this level.
So yeah, anyways, to wrap this back around, I think Halo 4's maps look great. They look inspired again. They're made for competitive multiplayer, not for campaign. They're not in campaign. They look super, fun to play on. They look beautiful. They just look unique, and they've revealed 4 of the 10 maps they're going to have in the game at launch, and then they'll have 9 DLC ones later. And
ooh, DLC.
and of the 4, get with the times. Of the 4 that they've released, they have one on a UNSC ship in space overlooking a sun, so you're just fighting right above a sun, or maybe it's just a fiery planet, I don't know, but it looks absolutely awesome. I'm not really too big in the man-made structure UNSC looking maps. Those kind of are more boring to me, but the fact that it has this orange glow, and when you go outside and you look over the edge, you see just a giant sun so close to you, that just looks awesome. That to me is visually, it just feels like they put passion into it, and that's a map that I love to just look at. And like I said, I'm into the artistic aspect of these, so these maps have that, and more importantly, the gameplay to back it up. Exile, which is kind of like a mix between Sidewinder and Blood Gulch, and it's Blood Gulch style, so it's in a canyon, it's got your browns, reds, and greens like I complained about before, but they work here. They look beautiful. There's tons of detail in it, and I'm okay with 1 or 2 maps being that color scheme. It's not like I don't want the color scheme represented. I want every color scheme represented. I don't want just that. That just gets boring and old. Plus, I want it to be vibrant and bright, which it is. I think Reach was kind of it was more toned down and muddled down, so it wasn't so bright and vibrant, but I think that's what really made Halo set itself apart from a realistic shooter. It should be that, space shooter where you got tons of bright plasma colors and stuff going across the screen. So there's no reason to make it that realistic, doled down colors.
I'll tell you what, something I really want to see, and we've talked about this before, is, we go back and play Halo, the first Halo,
Yeah.
and just the amount of game types, and like the different game types, it was amazing. And it's just like you just realize that a lot of those game types just got thrown aside.
Well,
with
one
the
thing
other
I will say
games.
about that, and I'll kind of defend the newer games, it's that I don't think that those game types are necessarily gone. I mean, think about it. Now we have so many options with custom games. We can make
Yeah.
any game type of those before, and then so much more. It's just
As you have
we were relying on when we played Halo 1. We were just playing by ourselves, playing LAN, playing custom games,
Right.
which we can do, but we choose to play online. And obviously, not all those crazy types of games are going to be online. However, they do have Action Sack usually in each one of these games, an Action Sack playlist where they do have all these crazy game types. I mean, sumo wrestlers on Halo 3, where there's a platform and you all warthogged over to the platform, and then you use the hammers to try and knock each other off
I
the
remember
platform, and you
that,
couldn't
sure.
die. Like, that stuff is awesome. So yeah, I think they're still there. I don't think we gave Reach enough a chance to really see them, and we don't play custom games enough anymore to.
Yeah, I mean,
Witness them.
it's still going to see. It's going to be interesting though. Like Halo 4, like I mean, you got a new company, and you know they're going to be out for blood. You know they're going to want to prove themselves. So I think, yeah, it's going to be interesting because you know they're going to have something to prove with this. Because there's going to be your doubters out there not sure of them taking over this, being taken over by a new studio.
Yeah.
So it'll definitely be interesting to see what they do with it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
and they're gonna. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be better than Reach.
Oh yeah, I
Like way
just
better
by
than
what I've
Reach.
seen from campaign footage and multiplayer footage, I think it's already remedied a lot of the Reach problems, in my opinion.
I'm
but
interested to see the DMR and BR square off.
not only that, but also one thing with campaign, we finally get to see a continuation of Chief's story. It's not that I didn't
Yes.
care about all these other Spartans and whatnot. I think it was an interesting story, and I like the campaign of Reach. It was the best part of Reach,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to see what's next for Chief and Cortana, etc. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
been
like,
a while. It's been
what-
since 2007 since we've.
What is it they're saying
had
too?
the
Is
story.
that Cortana's lifespan is coming up or something like that?
Well, apparently AI only lives for like 4 or 5
Yeah.
years, and Cortana's like
and as
7 or 8
as they
years
start
old.
to go, they start to get mad or something like that. So
They lose their minds
yeah.
and stuff like that, just like an old person would.
So yeah, basically, so that's gonna be interesting to see too, because I bet they're. I mean, she's gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
get what you're
really-
saying. It's interesting to see what's going to happen with her, and
Mhm.
apparently that's what the main underlying theme of this story is. What it's about is that it's kind of exploring more Chiefs and Cortana's relationship with each other, just kind of how, I don't know, what they mean to each other, etc., and how they function with each other. So that'll be interesting. To go back to the maps, like I was saying, though, they had the UNSC ship, they had the canyon, they have a snow map with glaciers and water that looks just absolutely amazing. And then they have, lastly, the Forerunner structure, which Forerunners are the main bad guys in this one, basically. So, yeah, all 4 of those are unique, and I hope they continue that trend. That's what I'm saying. Have unique environments. There's no reason to keep repeating same, oh, this is grassy with some rocks. Like, they did that over and over and over in Reach, and
Here
it's
we
just
got
so
some
boring.
moss and rocks.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, there's a volcanic setting you could use that they still have yet to use for a multiplayer map, like with lava running through and stuff, and I think that would be awesome, and they have it for Spartan Ops mode, so I'm thinking they will have it for multiplayer this time.
Were you saying something about weather?
Yeah, and I'll get into that. So I got volcanic. I want swamp again. Like, Backwash is the only Halo map that I can remember that was in swamp, and it wasn't a very good map, but the swamp aspect was pretty cool, so I want that back. I want, like,
We need some isolation, right?
no. Other environments, they could use mountains, they could use lakes. I don't know, there's so many. And deserts they used for sand trap, but like I said, have variety. Have at least don't repeat the same thing twice in one game. You don't repeat it more than twice is basically what I'm saying. You can have 2 snow maps, you can have 2 canyon maps, just don't keep making the same type of stuff. Have a Covenant one where it's all purple like they do with like midship and stuff, and that looks fine. But don't be making 3 maps like that. It just gets boring and tedious after a while. So yeah, maps look great. So that's one aspect that I am completely confident in them about so far. Another aspect of the game is capture the flag, and this is where we get into a little bit of debate, and this is what I said at the beginning of the podcast or earlier on that I wanted to kind of pick your brain about. you said you hate when a game changes things, and especially when it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, they changed capture the flag. And here's the changes they made. You can no longer drop the flag. When you walk over the flag, you automatically pick it up. It's not a choice. If you walk directly over it, you pick it up. You now hold a magnum while you're holding the flag. So you have a flag in your left hand and then the magnum in your right hand, and the magnum has special properties for when it's being held with the flag, so it has different strength and whatnot. You run normal speed instead of slower to help compensate for the fact that you can't drop it anymore, so no more juggling that people like to do, etc. Obviously you can't pass it to teammates anymore if you can't drop it. But yeah, you can run normal speed. You can't sprint, obviously, and I think that's why they make it so you can run normal speed. Otherwise, sprinters, which they had in Halo Reach, and they have in this game as a normal setting now, so anybody can sprint, that would have been completely getting dominated. But yeah, so those are the main changes. What do you think about that?
Well, when you say it's not broke, don't fix it, can you really say that in this situation? Because
yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Juggling is essentially broken.
That's what I think. And
Yeah,
I think it was broken. I was so tired of... And I know anybody that plays games competitively, like super competitively, like MLG, or they just treat it like a sport, they're going to hate, that I have this opinion. Because, the people on the Halo forums hate that I have this opinion. It's that a lot of people are upset because you can no longer drop the flag. So no more juggling, so no more flag, drop, flag, taken, flag, drop, flag, taken. No more juggling, basically running with the flag, which I thought was not the intended way to play the game. It's just an exploit of sorts. It's not cheating or anything like that. It's just an exploit. They found out a way to run faster and continually get the flag. So, more power to them. I'm not saying I found it as cheating. I just don't think that's how it should have been played, and I never played it like that. I think the flag runner is supposed to receive help from his teammates.
Yes, and that forces the teammates to actually help.
Yeah.
Help now.
And that's what this new mode. That's what this new mode encourages. And no longer can you drop the flag and have rockets and just blow somebody up and then pick up the flag and go. You're more dependent on your teammates. And what people's argument against it, which I can understand, is that it lessens teamwork because now you can no longer pass the flag to your teammates when they're on a ledge and stuff. And yeah, I'll miss that a little bit, but it's not what was intended. You're not supposed to be able to do that kind of stuff. I know they let you drop the flag before, but it just became it was the go-to strategy to win. If you wanted to win, you just juggled the flag across in that.
Well, they had the option to drop the flag originally just so you could shoot your gun. But now they've given you
exactly, and that's how they remedied it, is now you have a gun, so there's no reason to drop the flag. Wouldn't you rather just hold on to the flag and have the gun? Why would you want to drop the flag and then use your gun? Why? Because you want to use a more powerful weapon, but a flag carrier is not supposed to have a power weapon. It's just not. You're supposed to rely on your team to escort you to grab the flag and then escort you back. That's how it's supposed to go, either Warthog or by foot or taking certain paths to survive. You're supposed to outplay the other team and win. But that's not what it was in the past few games, because people, as soon as juggling was found out, that's all it became, is one guy could just juggle it across with maybe one person covering it, and nobody could catch up with him because he's running just as fast as you are. How are you going to catch up with him? But now you can sprint and he can't, and his teammates have to cover him. He can no longer drop that flag. You are committed. And I love that. I think it's going to work. And people that played it at PAX, even high-level players, MLG players and stuff, said they love this new capture the flag. It keeps the game moving. And that's their whole point, is that it keeps the game moving faster. And that's how many times did we have a guy with a flag stall or hide in a base or do this or just drop it to get or put it up on a ledge to get some more kills to stat pad and stuff like that and just up their rank, and it's keep the game moving. Now it's a lot more of a tug of war, and if you're going to score the flag, you earn it by going in there, taking the flag and overpowering them and running back before they can catch you. That, to me, is capture the flag. That's how it should have always been played, and that's how I've always played it, and it works well. I've won plenty. I've lost, but I also won plenty using that method, so I don't know why people think that method doesn't work or that method's boring. I just don't get it.
Plus, too, I don't know if you saw, but I'll tell you what, some of those flag kills are some of the coolest things I ever saw.
Yeah.
Like
throwing them on the ground and impaling them in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a great addition to the game, or change, I guess. It's not really an addition to Capture the Flag, it's a complete overhaul. And they said they're not trying to evolutionize Capture the Flag. This isn't an evolution. It's just a new Capture the Flag mode. There's no reason to be upset. You don't know if they won't have, the old way or the classic Capture the Flag, so to speak. And if they do, I think they should. I think they should have both versions of Capture the Flag. There's no reason not to. You can have one with dropping it and one with holding it. I'll play the one where you can hold it, and I'll be perfectly fine, and other people that prefer the other way can be happy. It's not like I want them to suffer. It's just, this is how I've always played Capture the Flag, so now it's kind of nice that other people are forced to the same rules and settings and layout of the map that I am. No longer are they going to do their method and I'm going to do my method. Maybe that sounds selfish or like I'm needing them to play my way. No, I beat plenty of people that juggled while I walked it just fine. It's just all about teamwork. If you have a team that can work together, then you should be able to score this way. And it's not that new. I look at this way as a way of finding new strategies now. People found out some of the best strategies by the juggling and whatnot, and they used that in Halo 2, Halo 3, and they cut it out in Halo Reach, but you could still do a jetpack juggle that I saw on YouTube. And it's like, now you don't have those options, so now you're going to have to come up with new strategies, which I think is good. It's fresh. Moving on to oddball and griffball. Now you can throw the ball. Now you can lob the ball. So if you're holding the oddball, you can toss it to your teammate. You can long bomb it. You can throw it 20 feet. It looks awesome. I love the fact that you can toss it to teammates and kind of play catch with it. So that way that really plays into team strategy. So no longer can you throw the flag, but I think this fits better for an oddball or griffball. Now in oddball, say you're about to die, now you can toss it to a teammate that's far away, and hopefully he can escape, or he's up on a ledge, and it adds a whole nother dimension to it that I think fits in this game type more than it does in a Capture the Flag. And griffball is awesome because now if you use a sword, you instantly snatch it out of their hands and you're holding it, whereas before you just act the same because it's its own mode now, so it has its own properties. When you hit them with a hammer, the ball goes flying, so now you can hit the ball with the hammer and have it fly around the room or use it to pass it to people, and you can throw the ball. So it really adds a whole lot more options to griffball, which I think of any Halo mode that's more like a sport, obviously, since it's called griffball. This one definitely, I think this could use those changes, and I think it's definitely a cool change.
I'm not familiar with griffball.
There's a bomb in the middle, 4-on-4, and you go grab the bomb, and you got to plant it on their side. It's just a big open court, basically like a basketball court looking thing, or just big square or rectangle, and you all start on each side. The two teams start on the opposite sides, kind of like dodgeball where you run to the middle to grab it. But you grab it and you got to score it, and the guy that has the griffball can run faster, but everybody else has hammers and swords.
Okay.
And he has a shield, so he doesn't die as easily. So yeah, it's just whoever can plant that ball, and it's an instant plant. So as soon as you run over the marker, you plant it right away and win. And it's a matter of rounds. It's tons of fun. It's like I said, it's like a sport. If there's any of the game types that's like a football or anything like that, that's definitely it, and it's tons of fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't have a whole lot more to say. New armor, new other stuff, great looking campaign, Spartan Ops. We can get into that another time. But yeah, it's just tons of fun. I'm definitely a lot more excited than I was before. I pre-ordered the game before I started getting in, looking at videos and actually doing research. I was going to get it just because it's a Halo game and I've gotten all the others, so I would give it a shot. But now I'm legitimately excited. So I think 343, which they're the ones making it now, not Bungie anymore, but 343.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 343's Microsoft game developer now. So they're composed of multiple game developers from other studios. A lot from Bungie, so it still has a lot of the same people that made Halo. It's just Bungie wanted to go and move on to do other things, and they're owned by Activision now. So 343, they're doing good. There are all the people want to make Halo, so it's good that they're the ones making it. So yeah, I think they're gonna do well with it. I hope fans give it a shot because I think they're definitely passionate about what they're doing. Alright, and last up, let's just kind of touch on Wii U. None of us really know a whole lot about it. Obviously, we know the stuff from E3 and just basic info that's out there, but a lot's still left up to be determined. I don't even know. They haven't even made a release date, and it's September now, and they haven't even come up with a release date. I know they want it by the end of the year.
They want it by the end of the year, but
so,
I mean...
That's November, December, I'm sure, but probably more likely to be November, but you would think they would have announced it by now. That's kind of important, so yeah, it might get pushed back or something, but you'd want it by holiday, so who knows. It's kind of weird that they haven't announced it. Usually that kind of stuff's announced months ahead of time.
I'm not gonna get it. I can say that safely. Like I may get it like
not even
eventually down the line.
Not like even for like Smash Bros.
Well, I mean, I bought the Wii for Smash Brothers.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
you don't think you'll get the Wii U for Smash Brothers?
I will buy the Wii U for Smash Brothers.
Okay, well then that's all I need.
But that's not a launch title.
Yeah,
but I'm saying.
But why wouldn't you buy it right off the bat if you know Smash Bros is going to come out next year?
It's gonna be more expensive. It's gonna be harder to get, and there's not going to be any reason to play it because there's not going to be any good games.
Well, you don't know that necessarily. But why wouldn't you want it earlier and be able to play some of the games if you know you're going to get it eventually anyways? And
because I know when I get it, I'm going to play Smash Brothers. So, I mean, why not just consolidate my investment and just buy the one game I want and the console I want?
Yeah. True.
I mean, I probably will end up getting... I'll probably end up getting it. I can say that, but I will not.
You just said you're not getting it.
I'm not getting it.
I can guarantee you, I'm not getting it.
You're contradicting yourself.
2 minutes later,
I can say
I'm getting it.
I will not get it when it's released. I will say that completely certainly. I will not get it when it's released.
We'll see where you stand by the time it comes out. Whether you still.
But I mean, there's nothing good for the launch titles I've seen. I mean, all they have is like some zombie game. Whoop do you do? I mean, how many zombie games do we have?
I'm not getting it for any launch titles, but I think I'll get it just because I have yet to buy a console on launch day.
I bought
the 3DS.
Well, my dad bought the PS2 on launch date. I bought the 3DS on launch date.
I haven't even gotten that privilege. I never had a console on the day it came out. Never. No. It's usually about months or even sometimes a couple years before I get a console after it comes out. And that wasn't by choice. It's just, obviously I get whatever I could get for Christmas growing up or a birthday or whatever, and consoles were a big deal, so that usually had to wait a couple years till they were cheaper. So the only thing I've ever bought with my own money or even had on launch day was a 3DS, and that's nothing to write home about because the 3DS had crappy launch titles too.
Yeah, you had Super Monkey Ball and Pilotwings Resort.
And I think Street Fighter was soon after.
Yeah, Nintendo.
But I didn't care about any of that. I wanted the Mario Kart and stuff like that's came out. That's made it a great, fun thing
Mario
to play.
Kart I really like Mario Kart 7. I don't know why they decided to randomly name it 7 out of nowhere, but
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'll get the Wii U for sure. Like this, I think that's why they announced Smash Bros. Before it was even in development. Way before it was even in development. But they're making a Smash Bros. For the first time for the 3DS as well, and they're going to be compatible with each other in some degree, and that has me really excited. I'd love to have Smash Bros. On the go or play it online with people on the go. So
I heard a Tails character is going to be in it too from the RPG series Tales of. Like Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Abyss.
I have no idea, but I know the series. I don't know any of the characters though.
I've heard that one of the characters. They haven't said what series, but I heard that one of the characters from one of the games is going to make an appearance.
Huh?
Because I mean, it's some degree owned by Nintendo.
I want Mega Man. Mega Man has got to be one of the most requested characters, but he's been in Marvel vs. Capcom, so that's I think the problem. Mm-hmm. But still, I think he's perfect. He started out on Nintendo, on the original Nintendo. Why would you not have that character by now? It's just frustrating. But yeah, he's owned by Capcom, and they do the Marvel vs. Capcom, so chances are unlikely. But come on, Mega Man. If you can get Snake from Metal Gear Solid, you gotta be able to get Mega Man. Come on. But Namco is help developing this time.
Yeah, so that's why there's going to be a Tails character.
Yeah, and you could get like maybe Pac-Man.
I wouldn't care for Pac-Man.
I would. I think I don't think I'd use him, but it's kind of neat to have him.
No,
because
it would be the stupid 3D one where he's got the gloves. Yeah,
true, but he's a gaming icon.
Yeah, the 2D one.
I know, but still, you got a Super Smash Bros. Is a mashup of all the like gaming icons on the Nintendo side, and to me, Pac-Man is too good to pass up.
But he's not even Nintendo.
I know. Not all of them are Nintendo, though. Sonic isn't Nintendo.
No, but...
But you want him in there because he's an icon.
He is, but the 3D, stupid-looking Pac-Man is not an icon.
No. You'd enjoy Pac-Man.
No, I would not enjoy it. I would hate to see Pac-Man in it. Unless it was like Game & Watch and he was a 2D sprite that went around.
What about Dick Dug?
Dig Dug would be pretty cool. I
Dig
think.
Dug would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
He'd be like have a little plunger and just pump people up. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
that, I think he would be cool. So yeah, Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Mega Man.
No, I don't want to put
I know,
Pac-Man in there.
I know, you're not. I'm not saying this is your list. This is my list. Those are 3 that I personally want. I can't think of a whole lot of other characters. Maybe like Knuckles or something from Sonic, or Tails.
Yeah, that's
Would be
what I was
fun.
thinking. That'd be pretty sweet.
So yeah, something like that would be cool. It's hard to think of a lot of new characters. A couple announcements they've made about the new game is, I don't know if you guys have been following it at all, but old characters are finally going to get new moves.
Yeah, I hear they're balancing a lot, so they're not going to have
Yeah.
worthless characters anymore.
So yeah,
And
the
they're not
new-
going to have overpowered characters
Yeah.
anymore, like Meta Knight or...
So yeah, they're getting new moves, so no longer will you see the same characters that had the same moves from the first Smash Brothers, like Mario and Link, etc. Which is a good thing and a bad thing. I really like their moves, but
I love Link.
yeah, if they add on to it, I'm sure they'll make them good too.
They'll get rid of
I don't think
Kirby's
it'll stray
fucking
from-
brick.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. They are having less characters this time, so and that's nothing to really complain about because one, they're going to be more balanced.
And, I
That's
mean,
one
do
of
you
the
really
reasons-
need a Star Wolf, Star Fox, and
Yeah,
Falco?
exactly, and
Yeah.
they're getting rid of copies basically. So many, like half the roster is just a copy of another character. That's how it was
Ganondorf,
since the beginning,
Captain
pretty
Falcon.
much. So yeah, I don't see any problem with that. There's no reason to have a character that plays the exact same. But at the most, just make them a separate costume. You know,
Yeah.
like there's no reason to have 2 different characters that have very similar moves. It might just look a tad bit differently.
Granted, Star Fox, Falco, and Star Wolf all played differently. Like they had different weights and
Yeah.
different powers, but they had the exact same moves. They all
Yeah.
had a reflector shield. They all had a little speed dash, a little flame
Yeah.
dash, and a
It's
gun.
clone characters, so yeah, I'm perfectly okay with them not having that. Plus, they don't need to expand the roster anymore. That's plenty of people to have. I usually only use like 3 people, so there's no reason to have 40 people in the next game or anything ridiculous like that. Just stick to about melee amount and you'll be fine, or brawl amount. They said they'd have just a little bit less than brawl if I remember correctly. So
Yeah, I'd like to see at least 2 Fire Emblem characters, but not. I'd like to see like one of the different, not
We
not
like
like
Ike.
not an Ike and a
We
Mars
like
type thing
Ike.
where they're both sword users.
yeah,
I'd
You
like
want
to see
something
like
different.
maybe a magic user from Fire Emblem or
Gotcha.
a archer from Fire Emblem. I think it'd be really cool, especially like an all-ranged fighter in Super Smash Bros. Would be really interesting to fight against. I mean, we've already seen mostly ranged with like Pit and Link. I mean, it'd be interesting to fight like an all-ranged.
That would probably suck. I'm not gonna lie.
But I mean, it'd be hard to in a game like that. It'd be really hard to play ranged.
Yeah.
Anything else for the Wii U that you can think of?
I think it looks like a ripoff.
I really hate the name. I mean, this has been said on the
Yeah.
internet by multiple sources, but Wii U is so stupid. I thought the Wii was stupid, but I got used to it. No big deal. But really, you're going to go with the Wii U? And they were saying that they might change the name because of confusion of people thinking it's just an addition to the console, not a new console altogether, which it is. So calling it the Wii U just doesn't make any sense. It does sound like just an addition to the console.
I don't like
And you,
the,
like, what the hell?
That's
I
what
don't like
they're-
the interactive controller idea.
If
I think that's
anything-
probably like I don't see the appeal. It seems clunky. It seems
Yeah, I don't
really gimmicky. It doesn't seem
They
like
said they were going to go for the hardcore audience, which they will have, games at the 360
well, yeah, they have
and
the 360
PlayStation.
controller.
Yeah, and they have a, but it's really weird looking.
It
Did
looks
you see
looks
that?
like a 360 controller.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the right analog stick above
Yeah,
where
it's
above the buttons?
Yeah, it's
So it's like
like
opposite of what
a
Xbox is.
little different, but like this general form.
Well, I'm saying
the
it's
amount
above
of
the buttons. How that doesn't make any sense. Usually it's below the buttons, and that's how it's always been on PlayStation and Xbox, and it works that way. Because it's easy to put your thumb up to press A or any of the other buttons, but now going from up to down, that just seems weird because now you're reaching
Nintendo's
down.
really never cared about aesthetics.
Well, I mean, think of the Wiimote.
They've
That
never
sucked.
cared about aesthetics, and they've never cared about ergonomics. I mean, look at the N64. You
Yeah.
have 3 prongs, 2 hands.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
The GameCube it wasn't a bad controller.
They are
but-
going to have 2 of those controllers
yeah.
compatible, but yeah, I think the whole thing is pretty dumb.
Super Nintendo was a great
I think
controller.
it'll have great, things spawn out of it. Because, I mean, the Wii still had fun games. Wii Sports was still fun for a while. But it's not... I just want them to cater to a hardcore audience again. There's got to be a happy medium, and I know they're trying to find it, but I still think they're going too casual with this huge controller with a screen on it, which those can't be cheap.
No.
I'm sure it's only going to ship with one, and if you get a second one, that's got to be like $100 controller.
Oh, it's got to be. I'm guessing way over 100. I'm
Yeah.
guessing like 150 for the
and
controller.
and the biggest annoyance is you still got to use your Wiimotes if you want to play like multiplayer games.
It's
and
only
stuff.
like it's like a gimmick. Like if you
Yeah.
have like they showed it in the Rayman thing. Like if you have 3 people, one of the person can use the interactive controller.
So stupid, so dumb. And I don't think they're gonna have GameCube controller support this time.
I don't think so.
I think I thought I heard something because the guy that was making Super Smash Brothers, he was like,
But I mean,
we're gonna make up new controller schemes and show because we don't want people to always think the GameCube is the only control scheme for Super Smash Brothers.
You should be fine with the new controller though, because I mean it's
It's basically
not,
a controller. It's just really spread out, like because it has the screen. But
it's,
yeah, it looks
it's a
fine
lot
to
less
hold.
gimmicky than their usual fare.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes, and hopefully not too much longer. Like I said, it should be by the end of the month.
I just don't know why they'd rip off Xbox 360 when PS2 or PS3 obviously has the better controller.
I disagree, but
I highly disagree.
There's no.
PlayStation's great for fighters, and it's much better for fighters. But when it comes to shooters, I'd much rather hold a 360 controller any day.
I played
played,
the PS3. You got the nice access shoulder buttons, just like the 360 though.
I guess it's just personal preference, but yeah.
I played Half-Life 2 on PS3, and it was perfect.
Well, to each their own. I've played Black Ops and stuff on PS3 with my brother, and it's not nearly as...
I played Black Ops
fun.
once on the Wii, and it was the dumbest
Well, that was your mistake
ever.
right there.
Well,
Never play any game
I was at my
on the Wii
cousin's
that's
house.
supposed to be like,
I was at my cousin's house. He's like, "You want to play Black Ops?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I rock at that game." And I played it on Wii. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's like the one friend that has like all the movie video games. Like, hey man, you want to play?
Yeah, he's got all the crappy games.
Want to play
that no one wants
Jurassic
to play.
Park? The second one.
And he thinks they're good because he doesn't know any better.
They want to play Flubber. Because his parents just probably buy it for him because they don't know any better. They're like, "Here's your Christmas present. It's Flubber."
All right, that about wraps it up for tonight, guys. You can find us at twitter.com/GoombaStompShow. You can email us at GoombaStompShow@hotmail.com. And you can find us at Facebook at facebook.com/GoombaStomp. Not Goomba Stomp Show on that one, just Goomba Stomp. All right, well, we'll see you guys later.
See you next time.
Yay.